And she is a great health expert.
Health enthusiast. So nice. My better half. My better half. Proud to say that. Proud to say that. Yes. And of course Professor Kannan, जिनके बारे में बोलना सूरज को दीपक दिखाने जैसा है, but few words sir from you. Yes, of Joyville, Professor Krishnamurti Kannan. We are honored to have you here, sir, with us. And Jitendra Tikku ji, please.
Good evening, everybody. Joyville podcast group on the Chai Pe Chetta. My name is Jitendra Tikku. My flat is here in Tower 8, number 202. We have shifted recently. We have been living in Joyville for more than a year now. We shifted to our flat recently. And I am in contact with Chintan, and he is kind enough to have given me this privilege to come and go and be part of the various interactions that go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Rawakanji, you had requested my mother also to
Yes.
be present in this, so yes.
Mom is here, huh? Namaste, pranam.
नमस्कार जी.
Blessing to have you here. Blessing to have you here. स्वागत है आपका. स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you very much for your time.
She has written a couple of books. I'm currently reading one of her books.
Okay.
Yes.
So
In her mid-80s.
such an honor for us.
Yes. So good to see you. Now we have Abhishek ji, who was a speaker last time in our inaugural meeting. So Abhishek ji, please. You may say a few words, sir.
Namaskar, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Namaskar to everyone. I am a very researcher, that's it. I can't say anything. I will try to understand that.
So it's a privilege to have Abhishek ji here. He's connected from Prayagraj, and he was here at Joyville. I was having the privilege and honor to have him with me for some time. And then we have Suraksha ma'am.
Suraksha, could you please switch on your video and audio? You शायद है नहीं.
Suraksha ji.
Sunil ji has come.
Yes, Sunil Bhutani ji.
Sunil, would you like to switch on your video?
Good to see you. Yes.
Please introduce yourself. There are new members today.
Sunil ji, can you hear us?
हाँ जी.
दो शब्द कहें. हाँ, आपकी आवाज आ रही है. Please say a few words about yourself.
नमस्कार. Although हम सब एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, अगर हो सकता है कि हमारे नए साथी भी जुड़े हों, तो परिचय के तौर पर मैं अपने इसमें बताना चाहूँगा. मेरा नाम सुनील भूटानी है और मैं भारत सरकार में प्राकृतिक अधिकारी के तौर पर काम करता हूँ. इसके अलावा भी काम करते रहते हैं. तो अगर हम बात करें जो इस प्रोग्राम में भी है चाय पे चर्चा, तो ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है हमने शुरू किया था और उसमें बहुत सार्थक चर्चा रही थी, पिछली हो या उससे पहले भी. और तरह के कार्यक्रम जो सोसाइटी में बहुत लोग हैं या सोसाइटी से बाहर भी हैं, वो एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके अपने विचारों का आदान प्रदान करते हैं. लोगों के प्रति जो हमारा लगाव कहीं ना कहीं कम हो रहा है, उसको पुनः जागृत है. इस तरह की चर्चाएं जो है बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका अदा करेगी, ऐसा मेरा विश्वास है. और मुझे सौभाग्य है कि मैं इस कार्यक्रम में भाग ले रहा हूँ, जहाँ पर प्रेषित के प्रमुख और विद्वान लोग मौजूद हैं. तो मैं आप सभी को धन्यवाद देता हूँ और शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ कि कार्यक्रम जो है निरंतर चलता है. ये शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को देता हूँ. धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू सो मच. धन्यवाद. हम यहाँ ऑफलाइन जो है इन पर्सन इकट्ठे हैं डॉक्टर देवेश विजय सर के यहाँ. टावर नंबर 6, फ्लैट नंबर 606 ऑफ जॉयविल गुरुग्राम। यहाँ हम भी थोड़ा हल्का हल्का
जस्ट 2 लाइन्स ईच।
Yes.
सर आपसे शुरू करते हैं।
Yes.
अपना
Yes,
परिचय
sir.
दे दें।
Hello, I am H.S. Mehta. I am retired banker and for more than 20 years or so. I am enjoying Joyville. Since inception, I am here in March 24. I am enjoying my life.
सर
I'm Haridev Gagneja. I've been here in Joyville for the last 6 months. I'm a retired banker, enjoying the surroundings and happy retired life in the company of Professor Devesh and Tiwari and like to interact with the intellectuals, and it was really revealing last time. I had a good opportunity to listen to the other speakers. Maybe I will be able to make some meaningful contribution to the discussions which are selected for today.
So nice.
Thank you.
So nice. Thank you so much.
Shama has joined.
Yes. Will you like to say a few words about yourself, Shama?
Yes, sir, sure. All of you are bit not audible to me. Is it just me? I don't know. But the voice is a little less for me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm also experiencing this.
Oh, maybe.
We'll just check.
I have to hear the question.
Ah.
Can you ask me to introduce myself?
That is for the cameras.
Maybe because
We can draw the laptop closer.
then the
Yeah,
visibility
it's
reduces.
as close as is physically possible, sir.
Okay, we'll speak louder.
We'll speak slightly louder maybe because again it's the technicalities.
Now it's much better, sir. Much better.
Good you pointed out, Shama. We'll speak
Thank
louder.
you. Yeah, so we'll speak louder.
So Shama, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, good evening, everyone. A few of you are very familiar faces to me. If you are new, my name is Shama Nair. I am a counseling psychologist, career counselor, and educator, and I have been living in Joyville since August last year. So it's been a lovely experience. I love reading books. I've been a voracious reader since childhood, and I'm looking forward to the session.
And your son is also a voracious reader.
So
I'm Devesh Vijay. I happen to be the host today. And I have retired from Zakir Hussain College where I taught European history. And I'm really enthused about this podcasting medium. It is a kind of renaissance opportunity for cultural change. But we'll talk about it some other time.
Thank you so much. I'm Ramakant Tiwari. I've been staying here in Joyville since August 2024, and I have also been a reader all through my life. Whatever I am today is because of books, I should say, and it's a blessing to be connected to persons like Professor Kannan, Professor Devesh Vijay, and being in the company of those of us who really love books, love reading, and not only reading but writing as well. Yeah.
Hi, this is Sonakshi. Thanks to Ramakant sir for inviting me into this group, and I'm really looking forward to have great conversations here. I have moved to Joyville last year December. It's been only 4 and 5 months, trying to enjoy as much as possible. Past 13 years I've spent in corporate, in analytics and supply chain domain. Now I'm doing part-time tuitions mostly and taking care of my son. Thank you. Nice to be part of
Great.
this.
So now we start with the permission of the host, Devesh sir. Time management will be one issue. So let me see if some timer can be set up here. And so with the timer,
We have
can
to-
Sanjay ji do the timer? Can you please?
Not clear. Not clear.
He can't hear you.
You can't make a sense of what you are saying.
Okay, so let me be
Louder.
slightly louder,
Either louder, yeah, you can
louder and slower.
and
Eh.
closer to the microphone.
Yes. So
लैपटॉप को अपने सेक्रेटरी के पास रख ले सकते हैं.
नहीं, एक बात हो सकती है कि if I go near the laptop, then it might be.
वही बात बोल रहे हैं.
इसको क्लोजर ले
नहीं,
लेते
close
हैं
फिर
थोड़ा
बाकी
सा।
लोग दिखेंगे नहीं ना.
कोई बात नहीं, साउंड इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, हियरिंग प्रॉपर होना चाहिए। Speak louder.
What can I do?
Let's test.
individual, when you start here,
हाँ
I can turn the camera individual.
हाँ this
I
camera
can make it better.
the zoom thing will there
और तो
Dual-
थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलने से
dual modes are there ना.
कोई तरह का आई थिंक यू स्पीक लाउडर नाउ इट विल कैच.
संध्या जी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप प्लीज टाइमर ऑन कर दें 5 मिनट्स का 5 मिनट्स टाइमर इफ यू कैन so that I am also reminded of time. So let me set the tone of the event, the discussion. See, जैसे हमने कहा autobiographically I have been made by books, and if not all, most of us have had transformative, impact of books. तो यहाँ here the language will be English, both Hindi and English mixed up. I hope it is okay. So here Devesh ji started couple of groups, podcasters and mentors. So this is a kind of offshoot from the podcasters group. So a sort of book club we wanted to start, and book club में नाम इन्होंने रखा चाय पर चिंतन. चाय पर चिंतन is involved, and उसी दिशा में this is the second such event today. The idea is to make it impactful, effective, which touches us, which transforms us, जिसका impact पड़े. और हाइब्रिड मोड पर हम लोगों ने इसलिए रखा है, हाइब्रिड मोड इन द सेंस those of us who are serious readers, those who read at least 4 books, वो tentative number है. I know people who read 4 books a month. I know people who read 2 books a month. I have been a person who reads close to 20 books a year on an average. But see, the numbers don't matter. Whether we read, learn, implement, that does make a difference. उसी दिशा में जो हमारे सीरियस रीडर्स हैं, उनको हमने चाहा है कि एक न्यूक्लियस बना के, कोर बना के, और केवल बुद्धि विलास के ख्याल से नहीं, not just for intellectual, what to say, विलास को क्या बोलेंगे, I don't know.
Luxury.
It's not just an intellectual luxury. So that it makes an impact, it makes a difference, and it will be theme based. So we had certain themes selected here, and also we will have many more themes. Some examples.
के पीछे काला बैग.
Some examples of themes can be, of course, non-exclusive.
जो बैग में ले जाता हूँ.
Entrepreneurship, holistic health, sustainability, civic life, citizen-centric, policy promotion, parenting, governance, including governance in the family, why not? Stress management, information overload, AI and human wisdom, lifelong, there are n number of things. So what we propose to do, we will recommend books, and not recommend, it's not that we come from some higher pedestal and we prescribe and recommend. It's not that. It will be kind of crowdsourcing. हम brainstorm करेंगे and we'll suggest books based on themes. We'll brainstorm on themes and also brainstorm on books. और ideally हम हर महीने couple of books recommend करेंगे and we'll expect कि हम जो readers हैं, serious readers, हम पढ़ेंगे और फिर share करेंगे अपना knowledge, wisdom, take away share करेंगे. That is the objective. इसी दिशा में अभी पिछले महीने जो हमने बात करी थी, that was spirituality and science. It was the first pilot. This is also today, I can say it's the second pilot, and there is volunteered to host it at his place. The third one will be on the 31st of May. The last Sunday of the month will be the day when we will hold this meeting. So May, it will be 31st of May, that will be the last Sunday. I volunteered again at my residence with Sandhya ji's permission. And because June, July will not be here in India, but we will connect remotely. August, of course, will come back. And we will also request our co-participants to volunteer to host these events at their places. So that चाय पर थोड़ी चाय भी हो जाए और चिंतन भी हो जाए. तो अभी की थीम जो है, आज की थीम, उसमें हमने 2 किताबें रेकमेंड की हैं. एक है, दोनों संजोग से अर्ली 1990s की है, 1992 की to be precise. One is John Gray's famous book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. वो जेंडर डिफरेंसेस को लेकर एक लैंडमार्क बुक है, काफ़ी पॉपुलर बुक रही है, बेस्ट सेलर रही है, इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली. And the other book is rather lesser known, written by a person who was an anthropologist and later he did his PhD in theology. It's Gary Chapman. His book 5 Love Languages. I'll tell more about that book when I speak. So these are the two books basically on gender differences and relationship, particularly male-female relationship. This is the theme, and on which these two books were recommended by us based on our experience. Primarily, Devesh sir suggested Men Are From Mars. I suggested Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages, because I've read that book a number of times, gifted that book to so many couples and so many friends, and even to some children I recommended that book. So that's the introduction part. I think I have exceeded the time somewhat. तो अब मैं चाहूँगा about the first book, John Gray's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. About that, I'll request Dr. Devesh Vijay, Professor Devesh Vijay, to say his take on the book, and the time is 10 minutes. Sandhya ji, please, time का ख्याल रखेंगे.
Sandhya ji, please be very strict with time limit. Just give me a buzzer. 30 seconds. 30 seconds before my time.
I'll keep the buzzer with me, sir.
Yeah, that is very important, because if we keep to the time limit, then we will be able to have more discussion, which we really look forward to. So thank you, Ramakant ji, my elder brother in this mission. I really look forward to podcasting from Joyville, being able to make a mark because of YouTube free access. Whatever we discuss, we can record and upload and make it a part of larger intellectual heritage of our society without any cost. Just that we have to be a good team. So I'm really excited about this. Yeah, the book that was assigned to me to comment on is John Gray's famous book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. देखिए, इसकी खास बात ये है कि ये किताब, एक तो काउंसलर खुद थे जॉन ग्रे, और इसके अलावा उन्होंने किताब को शुरू ही किया है अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस से. कैसे उनको ये ख्याल आया कि खासतौर पे पति पत्नी के बीच नीडलेस मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स केवल इसलिए हो जाती हैं कि मैन वुमन का जो नेचर का डिफरेंस है वो बहुत कम लोगों को स्पष्ट है. पर उसके बाद उन्होंने, जब उन्हें ये प्रेरणा मिली कि मैं ऐसी किताब लिखूं, उसके बाद उन्होंने करीब 25,000 लोगों को सेमिनार्स में जोड़कर 7 साल तक रिसर्च किया और उनका फीडबैक लेकर फिर उन्होंने ये किताब लिखी है, जो कि डिजर्वेडली इतनी फेमस रही है और उसने बहुत लोगों को हेल्प भी किया है. हालांकि मैं इसकी अपनी मेरी आलोचना भी है, उस पर मैं बाद में आऊँगा कि इसमें कमी मुझे क्या लगती है. पर मैं पहले बता दूँ, सबसे पहले मैं बताऊँगा कि जॉन ग्रे ने कहा क्या है, फिर मैं उसके साथ थोड़ा सा जोड़ूंगा कि मेरा अपना परिप्रेक्ष्य, नजरिया क्या है. Am I properly audible, Kannan साहब?
Well, not that good. If we can get.
Okay, I'll be louder.
Computer,
Yeah, sure, I'll be louder.
अभी कनेक्ट हुई फोन.
तो पहली बात जो मैं कहूंगा कि जॉन ग्रे जी ने क्या कहा है किताब में, पुरुष और महिला के मनोवैज्ञानिक अंतरों को लेकर, डिफरेंसेस को लेकर, और फिर बताऊंगा कि मेरा अपना नजरिया उस विषय पर क्या है, और जॉन ग्रे ने मुझे कहाँ समय, क्योंकि 92 की किताब है, थोड़ा सा मुझे एक कमी लगती है. तो जॉन ग्रे जी का मोटे तौर पर ये कहना है कि women are much more sensitive than men, और ये दोनों जगह काम करता है. Women respond to compliments much more than men. Similarly, women get hurt more than men. तो ये शायद there is a little echo, वो अभी रमाकांत जी ठीक कर रहे हैं.
अब actually सुनाई दे रहा है properly.
सुनाई दे रहा है श्यामा?
Yeah.
ओके, हाँ, राइट. सो तो उन्होंने ये दो बातें कही कि सेंसिटिविटी, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स और गुड फॉर्चून्स के लिए भी, और अच्छे जेस्चर्स के लिए एक वुमन में ऑन एवरेज ज़्यादा होती है, और इसी तरह से हर्ट के लिए भी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है मैन की कंपैरिजन में. तो मैन अब इसको इसी कारण से समझ नहीं पाते क्योंकि वो उतने कई बार सेंसिटिव नहीं होते। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल उन्होंने दिया है कि एक वुमन अगर बैड एक्सपीरियंस ऑफिस से लेकर के वापस आई है तो वो शेयर करना चाहती है, वो उसको डीपली वूंड करता है, जख्मी करता है। मैन को कई बार लगेगा कि ये तो कोई खास बात ही नहीं है या इसका ऐसे सोल्यूशन हो सकता है। तो मैन वैसे भी सॉल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड ज्यादा होता है और वो कई बार उन चीजों को उतनी अहमियत नहीं देता कि ये किसी ने कुछ कह दिया तो क्या हो गया, यू बी फोकस्ड ऑन योर ब्रॉडर एम। पर वुमन को वो हर्ट ज्यादा कर जाता है। तो ये एक जो लगता है सही बात उन्होंने बताई है कि एक फर्क है साइकोलॉजिकल। फिर उन्होंने ये बताया कि नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में कि ना केवल सेंसिटिविटी डिफरेंस है बल्कि वुमन कम्युनिकेट डिफरेंट तरीके से करती है। मैन का कम्युनिकेशन अपनी फीलिंग्स के बारे में ज्यादा डायरेक्ट होता है। वुमन चाहती है कि जो वो सिग्नल करे उसको उसका जो क्लोज पार्टनर है वो रीड कर पाए। तो ये इस लेवल पे मतलब कम्युनिकेशन कैसे करते हैं अपनी फीलिंग्स को, इसमें भी डिफरेंस है। थर्ड फिर उन्होंने बताया है कि रिजॉल्व करने के तरीके में भी डिफरेंस है। जो हमारी फीलिंग्स होती हैं अगर वो हर्ट है या कोई वुंड है तो उसको वुमन कैसे रिजॉल्व करती है और मैन साइलेंस में जाना चाहता है पहले। ये एक बड़ा फेमस जॉन ग्रे जी का एग्जांपल है कि मैन अगर बाहर से हर्ट होकर आया है तो वो केव में चला जाएगा थोड़ी देर के लिए, वो थोड़ी देर साइलेंस चाहता है। वुमन का तो बिल्कुल उल्टा है, वुमन इमीडिएटली शेयर करना चाहती है, वर्बलाइज करना चाहती है अपनी फीलिंग्स को। इसलिए वो अपनी सिस्टर से भी बात करेगी, खासतौर पे चाहेगी कि हस्बैंड से बात कर पाए या जो भी क्लोज उसका पार्टनर है। तो ये उसका इन दोनों का मैन वुमन का रिजॉल्व करने का तरीका भी डिफरेंट होता है, जिसकी वजह से अगेन कई बार कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो जाता है कि मैन समझ नहीं पाता कि वो इतना ज्यादा क्यों वर्बलाइज कर रही है, या वुमन समझ नहीं पाती कि मैन केव में क्यों चला गया है, वो मुझसे शेयर क्यों नहीं करता। और यही चौथे चैप्टर पे आ जाते हैं, उसमें उन्होंने यही दिखाया है कि मैन जो है कम शेयरिंग करता है, फीलिंग्स को हाइड करना सीखता है शुरू में, और वुमन क्योंकि बच्चों से उससे बात करने का है और उसकी जो रोल मॉडल्स हैं उनमें वर्बलाइज करना ज्यादा है। तो वो ये एक चौथा डिफरेंस है। और मैं शायद एक छोड़ रहा हूँ, हाँ, अगर ब्रेकडाउन होता है रिलेशनशिप में तो वुमन का और मैन का डील करने का तरीका थोड़ा डिफरेंट होता है। वुमन थोड़ा अगर वाकई हर्ट हो गई है किसी रिलेशन में तो chaos क्रिएट कर, व्हाट दे कॉल chaos क्रिएट करेगी। वो और लोगों को लेकर के थोड़ी पोजेसिवनेस, थोड़ा मतलब वो आर्ग्यूमेंट ज्यादा करेगी। मैन वेट करता है लेकिन फिर वायलेंट हो सकता है। तो ये उनका ब्रेकडाउन के केस में भी एक मेजर डिफरेंस है। छठा उन्होंने बताया कि अगर स्नैप ही होने लगे उसमें भी डिफरेंस है। मैन जनरली वेट करके फिर स्नैप करके खत्म कर देता है रिलेशन, लेकिन वुमन का साइकिल होता है, उसका रिदम चेंज करता है, वो कई बार रिवर्ट करना चाह सकती है। ये दोनों की साइकोलॉजी में भी डिफरेंस है। आप एग्री करती है? क्योंकि आप आपके नॉट करने से मुझे बड़ा एनकरेजमेंट मिल रहा है, बिकॉज आई डोंट नो इफ आई एम रीडिंग हिम राइट। तो ये चीजें उन्होंने बताई हैं। फिर उन्होंने कई सॉल्यूशंस दिए हैं, लेकिन मैं उनमें नहीं जाऊंगा क्योंकि इस चीज को रमाकांत जी अगले टॉक में लेने वाले हैं, जिसपे चैपमैन ने ज्यादा अच्छा लिखा है, पर वो इसी में भी ओवरलैप करता है। तो मैं सॉल्यूशंस क्या बताए गए हैं, टिप्स बड़े अच्छे दिए हैं उन्होंने कि कैसे अब इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को रिजॉल्व किया जाए, कम किया जाए, तो वो अभी रमाकांत जी की टॉक में आ जाएगा। पर मैं अब उस बात पे आना चाहता हूँ कि मैं किस तरह से दोनों के साइकोलॉजिकल डिफरेंसेस देखता हूँ। देखिए, मेन वुमेन में ऑब्वियसली एनाटॉमिकल, फिजियोलॉजिकल वगैरह डिफरेंसेस हैं, पर सवाल ये है कि सटल साइकोलॉजिकल डिफरेंसेस जो आप अक्सर समझे नहीं जाते वो क्या है। अब ब्रेन प्रोसेस जो है मैन का वुमन का काफी डिफरेंट है, मैं भी मानता हूँ, जॉन ग्रे जी की बात ठीक है। अब हमें जिन डिफरेंसेस पे फोकस करना है, पहले तो ये क्लियर करना चाहिए कि हम जेंडर डिफरेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, यानी कि अक्रॉस कल्चर्स वो सेम है। कल्चरल डिफरेंसेस भी कुछ ले आते हैं, जैसे वुमन इंडियन मैन से अलग तरीके से भी कुछ डिफरेंट होगी, उसकी लाज, उसकी झिझक, थोड़ा और तरीके के डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, फैमिली ट्रेडिशन हमारी, लेकिन हम यूनिवर्सल डिफरेंसेस की बात कर रहे हैं जो कि अक्रॉस कल्चर्स जेंडर्स में पाए जाते हैं। दूसरी चीज ये है कि हम सटल डिफरेंसेस की बात कर रहे हैं, और तीसरी ये है कि हम एवरेज मैन और एवरेज वुमन के डिफरेंस की बात कर रहे हैं। देखिए जो एक्सट्रीम्स पर होते हैं, जैसे साइकोपैथिक मैन है या साइकोपैथिक विमेन है, उनके डिफरेंसेस कुछ और टाइप के होंगे। साइकोपैथिक वुमन में भी उसी तरह का बैलेंस हो सकता है, लेकिन हम एवरेज मैन और एवरेज वुमन के डिफरेंसेस की बात कर रहे हैं। अब ये साइकोलॉजिकल डिफरेंसेस 3 लेवल्स पर होते हैं। मेंटल प्रोसेसेस क्या होते हैं? एक हमारे ब्रेन में थॉट्स होते हैं, एक हमारे ब्रेन में इमोशंस होती हैं, और एक हमारे ब्रेन में डिजायर्स होती हैं। इसके अलावा ब्रेन हमारा 3 चीजें और करता है। एक तो सबसे पहले ब्रेन क्या करता है? सेंसरी परसेप्शन को प्रोसेस करता है, आई से ईयर से जो कुछ आ रहा है उसको। फिर वो हमारे वॉलंटरी और इनवॉलंटरी जो एक्शंस हैं उनको कंट्रोल करता है। और तीसरी चीज, ब्रेन घर होता है हमारी सेल्फ अवेयरनेस का और कॉन्शियसनेस का और कॉन्शियंस का। तो ये 3 चीजें अलग हैं, लेकिन अभी हम उन 3 चीजों की बात कर रहे हैं जहां पर साइकोलॉजिकल बिहेवियरल डिफरेंसेस आ जाते हैं। वो है थॉट्स, डिजायर्स और इमोशंस। अब मैं इन तीनों में थोड़ा थोड़ा बताऊंगा कि मेरी नजर में क्या डिफरेंसेस है मैन और वुमन में। सबसे पहले इमोशंस ले लेते हैं, वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये जनरली एज्यूम किया जाता है कि वुमन के लिए इमोशंस ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। जब वो लॉजिकल थिंकिंग भी कर रही है, जब वो डिसीजंस भी ले रही है,
30 सेकंड्स
तो ओनली 30 सेकंड, ओके। तो खैर मैं इसको चलिए कट कर देता हूँ। इमोशंस डिफरेंसेस ज़्यादा जानते हैं। थॉट्स के लेवल पर विमेन, गर्ल्स बहुत आउट परफॉर्म करती हैं बॉयज़ को एग्जाम्स में, लेकिन ये एक बड़ी नोट करने वाली बात है कि केवल नोबेल लॉरियट्स फिजिक्स वगैरह में ही नहीं जहाँ तक मैन होते, बल्कि मुझे जो अजीब लगता है कि पोएट्स में, म्यूजिक कंपोजर्स में ज़्यादातर मैन क्यों है? ये तो घर पे बैठ के काम करना है। और लास्ट चीज जो है डिजायर्स। अब सेक्सुअलिटी का एक डिजायर होता है। सेक्सुअलिटी ऑब्वियसली ज़्यादातर लोग जानते हैं, वुमन को थोड़ा टाइम ज़्यादा लगता है अराउज होने में वगैरह वगैरह, लेकिन उसमें गिल्ट का फीलिंग थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा होता है, तो उसे सेफ्टी कंसर्न ज़्यादा होती है। पर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि एक स्टार्क डिफरेंस है, डिस्पाइट ऑल द फ्रीडम गिवन एक्सेट्रा ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, ऑल थ्रू हिस्ट्री, प्रोस्टिट्यूशन का मार्केट हर शहर में मिलता है, वो ज़्यादातर विमेन प्रोस्टिट्यूट होती है। तो हंगर फॉर सेक्स मेन का अलग है वुमेन से। ये डिज़ायर की एक बात हो गई। दूसरा डिजायर का पहलू होता है ईगो सेटिस्फैक्शन। अब ये ईगो भी थोड़ा सा मैन वुमन का डिफरेंट होता है। सेंसिटिविटी की जो हमने अभी बात करी थी, एक चीज है कि वुमन रिलेशन के लिए ईगो को सरेंडर ज्यादा इजीली करती है, और इसका बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल ये है कि विमेन गुरुज ज्यादा ढूंढती है। अब मैं थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी बोल रहा हूँ। सेफ्टी कंसर्न ऑब्वियसली एक डिजायर होता है, और उसमें भी विमेन का एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है कि विमेन ओल्डर मैन के साथ जुड़ना चाहती हैं कई बार, क्योंकि उनके लिए प्रायोरिटी सेफ्टी है। तो रिलेशंस लास्ट में मैं बस बोलूँगा कि वुमन के लिए रिलेशंस कहीं ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। मैन जैसा मैंने कहा था स्नैप भी कर लेते हैं। मैरिज में वुमन एक सेफ होम, खासतौर पर क्योंकि अपने बच्चों के लिए उसकी मदरली फीलिंग क्योंकि बहुत स्ट्रांग होती है, उनके लिए ढूंढती है। जबकि मैन मैरिज में केवल एक सेफ होम चाहता है जिससे सुकून से वो दुनिया में अपना मार्क बना पाए। उनका जो सबकॉन्शियस डिजायर है, जो अपेक्षा है घर से, वो थोड़ी अलग है। ये बड़ा सटल पॉइंट है। अब आजकल एक चीज आई है कि चाइल्डलेस विमेन बहुत हो रही हैं। बाहर कहा जा रहा है कि 50% कपल्स आर चाइल्डलेस आजकल यूएसए वगैरह में। अब ये बहुत ऑपरेटिव, क्या ये चैलेंज करता है इस नोशन की कि वुमन के नेचर में मदरहुड होती है? मेरे ख्याल से नहीं। ये इसलिए चैलेंज नहीं करता कि चाइल्डलेसनेस के बाद डिप्रेशन का रेट भी विमेन में जंप किया है एकदम। तो दे आर नॉट हैप्पी विद दिस ऑप्शन, although they have opted for it. So I'll close here, although there are some points, but
so,
I don't want to
Thank you
exceed.
so much, sir. Thank you so much for being so, honoring time and trying to गागर में सागर समाने वाली बात पे जो बोलते हैं, in a nutshell you have tried to cover the entire book, and which is not a very thin book. I think it's 160 pages or something. So now I request Garneja Sahab as a discussant to communicate with Devesh sir. And
your 5-minute commentary.
yes, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Sandhya ji, to please monitor 5 minutes now.
I have a different take on the subject. I read this book around 30 years back, maybe 95 or 96.
Be louder.
Yeah, I think you are audible. Yeah.
I read this book around 30 years back in 1995-96. I've been married for 45 years, so I've got the relatively same experience with a spouse and other surroundings. I've got two parts to say. One, its book is absolutely to the point and exactly matches across the globe. In India, Asia or European civilizations, all women behave the same. I've traveled widely, so I know. Second, I read a book, I'm okay, you are okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now in that book, they say that why people differ.
Kumar?
Only because Thomas Harris says that if you speak something and if you want get the same answer what you intended, it is a positive stroke.
Yes.
If it is not, it means that you are unhappy. The difference is either you will go into a shell or you will shout.
Transaction analysis.
This is transaction analysis. So I'm okay, you are okay, best situation in husband and wife also. Sometimes I'm okay, you are not okay. That is the conflict starts. And third, you are okay, I'm not okay. Means I'm depressed, I surrender. Or you are not okay, I'm not okay, we are not made for each other. On this basis, I approach astrology. In astrology they say it is a proven science or proven belief that in astrology, if your horoscope says Mars and Venus are opposite to each other, they are conjunct with each other, or they aspect each other, that couple will have no problems because physical attraction and emotional they match. If one person has this combination and other does not have, marriage will not last, or there will be some bickering. So means that compatibility arises from Mars and Venus conjunction, or they are aspecting each other, or they are conjunct. It means that both complement each other. One has to speak the same language or understand the language. Men never understand. The way sir said, men are for solutions. She is only to speak. What happened in my office? Just listen. Say, yeah, you should have said this. आपने ये क्यों नहीं कहा? मैंने आपसे सोल्यूशन कर मांगा. मैंने सिर्फ बता रही थी कि ये हुआ. प्रॉब्लम ये है बस वो आदमी को हमेशा हर चीज का सोल्यूशन देना है. और औरत को सिर्फ अपनी बात कहनी है. She does not want solutions. The moment you give solutions, she's off. आपसे बात करना बेकार है. आप रहना. That is the issue and that is the conflict point. So there is basically people fight only on these 2 points. One, they are not physically compatible to each other. Physical compatibility or emotional compatibility, which the astrology says will happen like this, solves the issue that two couples, the horoscope should be matched in such a way that both are having the same kind of qualities. If it is not matched, there will be bickerings. Thomas Harris says, irrespective of cultures, irrespective of men or women or anything, the communication means between what you speak and what he understands. Listener is more important. I can speak anything, but if the listener does not listen or does not respond the way I want, there will be differences. So, I'm okay, you're okay means both are right in their own way and the solution automatically. We agree to disagree. That is the best solution. So I've take on this. The book is really perfect example of husband-wife relationship. You go through the book, you go through the dialogues, exactly same dialogues are spoken in the villages In India, towns, cities, cosmopolitan, America, Europe are everywhere. Same language, same tone. Book is really researched and is correct. Only thing is, solutions differ. So solution is provided by Thomas Harris. I'm okay, you are okay. You have to come to a situation like this where you understand that she is like this only. Yeah, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ. देख लो. If she doesn't agree, then there are differences. And some relations carry on, some break, depends upon the participants. Take on it.
So well said.
Thank you.
Within 5 minutes, so well said. So well said. I hope he has been audible properly. No. Once they speak, we can't hear. We have to hear from here only. That is the issue. So maybe through a thumbs up, you can give us a hint that you are hearing us.
Please raise your thumb if you can hear
Yeah,
us
yeah.
properly.
Yes, we got to there hearing us, sir. Oh, let me see.
हाँ आगे समझा
नहीं ठीक है हाँ, अभी नहीं थोड़ा it's a technical issue only. I hope so far we have been going fairly well. It's again a pilot. Next time we'll have another mic so that this issue is taken care of. So far so nice that Professor Devesh Vijay spoke for 10 minutes on the first book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, 1992 book by Dr. John Gray. And as a discussant, the banker from RBI, Dharmeya Sahab.
I joined RBI, later went to OBC. Now I'm a PNB pensioner.
So good to hear his perspective and with a global exposure and such a good analysis. Or I leave this for Professor Kannan to summarize it after our discussion of the second book. The second book I'll be taking up. It's I request Sandhya ji to please put the timer on. And before I start speaking about the book, let me say a few words on relationships, particularly husband-wife relationships. My wife is here listening to and watching and managing time. So, in fact, I studied from a Christian mission school by Dublin University Mission. High schooling was from there, and there I was exposed to the Vivekananda literature. And so my grooming has been very different. And I am an admirer of Jiddu Krishnamurti. And I have had a profound influence of one book which was published in 1989 and which was rated as the best management book of last 100 years by some very reputed magazine. I am forgetting the name of the magazine. The book is Dr. Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Why I am quoting these two books is because Krishnamurti says, like Socrates, like so many things, and believe me, if I say I am a follower of Krishnamurti, it will be an insult to Krishnamurti. He never believed in any followership. So I admire him, and he says that if you want to know yourself, you can know only through relationship. And Stephen Covey's book of 1989, it has 7 habits. First 3 habits are related to one's own personal effectiveness. And the second 3 habits, means habit 4, 5 and 6, seek first to understand, then to be understood, synergize, think, win-win. These habits are basically for interpersonal effectiveness.
You do 8th habit also.
8th habit, I have read that also, sir. But 7 habits I read that number of times. So basically its relationship matters quite a lot. And why I am saying this? Because I learned more about husband-wife relationship, not from my schooling, not from reading these books, but from somebody who taught the Americans Indian values of husband-wife relationships. If you might be knowing about Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt. I'm talking about Amway business where the system of books and tapes and seminars was introduced by Dexter Yeager. He became a billionaire. And Bill Britt started a system of education called Britt Worldwide. So we have been a student of Britt Worldwide for almost 2 decades. And they used to claim that in the US, where the rate of divorce is over 50%, the persons who were students of Britt system, their rate of divorce was less than 1%. Less than 1%. and that American used to teach Indian values to, you know, his students, so to say. Students, they were not students, they were people building MBA business, but as a couple. He treated the couple as a unit. And he used to say that the husband-wife relationship is probably the most important relationship. For you, the most significant other is your spouse. And one of the books that came, in fact, this book also came later on, John Gray's Men Are From Mars. But earlier we were exposed to this book, 5 Love Languages. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Gary Chapman was basically an anthropologist who did his PhD in theology later on, and he has been a marriage counselor and very successful one. So I think 7 minutes are left. So I prepared a small deck, PPT, presentation. तो मैं उसको share करूँगा और it should not take long. और ये पुरानी आदत है corporate world की, तो जाती नहीं है. So I hope it will help. So I think that will be good. I hope. Let me see. Oh, can you see my screen? Yeah, my screen is visible. So let me see. Yes, here it is. Yeah. Here it is. The 5 love languages. How to express heartfelt commitment to your mate. Basically, he has written a number of books, but this one is the, you know, so to say, his magnum opus. So, what is the core problem? Many couples struggle in relationships not because they lack love, but because they express it in ways their partner doesn't understand. Partners often speak different love languages. So, he has given examples of different languages and different dialects. See, if my primary language, because I'll give my own example, I studied from a Hindi medium school in Bihar board, and English was introduced to me much later. So even now I feel more comfortable speaking in Hindi, reading Hindi books, even now. So after reading for, you know, decades and decades only in English medium later on. So he talks about these languages. We have different languages, and he has identified 5 such languages, which we'll see next subsequent slides. So miscommunication happens even when both care deeply. The solution is learn to speak your partner's primary love language. Primary love language is important. Everybody has to some extent, to some degree, all the languages. But the primary one is the dominant one. Everyone has a primary and secondary love language. That is what his hypothesis is, and he has substantiated that. Of course, it is also research based on evidence. So love language 1, words of affirmation. And personally for me, probably this is again based on conditioning. We are all bundles of conditioning. Again I am quoting Krishnamurti only. Our consciousness, what is consciousness? Again from Krishnamurti's perspective, it's the accumulations of all the thoughts and feelings and that kind of stuff. So basically our grooming, our parenting, our schooling, we become bundles of so many things. So that is how we develop one primary language. And if I remember in my early childhood when I used to get some words of appreciation from my mom, from my teachers, they created a tremendous impact on my thought process, on my behavior also. So that became my language. So it's not necessarily true for everyone, but this is one of the primary love language, words of affirmation, showing love through verbal appreciation, compliments and encouragement. Some psychologists, particularly like William James, American famous psychologist, he used to say one can live for months together on one appreciation. It's so powerful. Spoken praise and appreciations are powerful, includes compliments, encouragement and recognition. For these people, words fall like rain on parched soil. Metaphorically speaking, so extremely important. Examples: thank you, for, I appreciate, you are amazing, these things. So this is one love language. So the life partners can be, for me, when my wife praises me for something, certainly it fills my tank. Again, metaphorically speaking, but this phrase has been used by Gary Chapman quite often. So this is the first love language. Second love language is quality time. That this has to be appreciated really properly. Particularly, I didn't understand it, but as far as I understand, my wife has this thing as her primary love language. Quality time, showing love by giving undivided attention. Undivided is the key word, and engaging in meaningful activities together. Undivided attention is the gift. Meaningful conversations and shared activities. Putting away phones and distractions. Not that I am reading something and then talking. Half listening, half not listening. That is not undivided attention. This is the second love language. Examples: date nights. We can have, we will have a walking meeting. We go walk and meet and talk. Deep conversations. Doing activities together. These are examples. Then third love languages. This again probably not for my wife and myself, but I know many persons who love giving gifts and receiving gifts also. They feel their thanks. That is their primary love language. I remember here in the first meeting we had this that book, Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. One of the laws is the law of giving. I think the second law. So some people love this, giving and receiving, reciprocation. So some people have this, showing love through thoughtful and meaningful gifts that symbolize appreciation and affection. Gifts are visual symbols of love. It's not about the monetary value, but the care, meaning, thoughtfulness and meaning matter most. Examples: flowers, jewelry, handmade items, or gifts that show you listen. So this is third love language. Fourth is acts of service. Again, extremely important. And daily household chores, sometimes we don't appreciate them. But if I help my wife in some laundry, some maybe dishes, some house cleaning, sometimes, some small things, babysitting, something like that, that maybe sometimes that may help quite a lot in establishing that kind of rapport, feeling that love tank. So showing love by performing helpful tasks that ease your partner's burdens. Actions speak louder than words. Doing things that make the life easier for your partner. Includes household tasks, errands and support. Examples: cooking, cleaning, taking out trash. Of course written from the Western perspective, but we can relate, I hope. And the last one, the fifth one, is physical touch. Again, I will not go into the the sexuality and the dirty touch and clean touch, but see, handshake, hugging, cuddling, they do make a difference. And in case of husband and wife, it does make quite a lot of difference. So, showing love through physical gestures such as hugging, kissing and holding hands. Physical touch communicates love and security. Includes hugs, kisses, holding hands and affection. Creates emotional connection and intimacy. Examples are hugging, the same example. So these are the 5 languages, and we have to basically be mindful to understand which love language is the primary one for my spouse, and then accordingly we have to adapt and modify our own behavior. Key strategies to identify your primary and secondary love language. This is how we discover. Observe how you naturally express love to others. How so I can express that in myself also, and get an insight. My spouse can become a mirror, or my good friend can become a mirror. Then notice what you complain about most in your relationship. This is another way to discover my primary love language. Then pay attention to what you request from your partner. Sometimes we really don't listen, but if we just observe what we make, what is the most frequent request we make from our partner, we discover what my love language, primary love language is. Take the 5 love languages profile, that's part of the book, and reflect on what makes you feel most loved and appreciated. And the takeaways are: love is a choice, not just a feeling. वो सिनेमाई अंदाज में नहीं है कि हो जाता है प्यार. It's basically it's an action. Stephen Covey says it's basically act. It's a work. We have to act. We have to really work towards making it happen. Love is a choice, not just a feeling. Understanding your partner's love language is essential for lasting relationships. People naturally give love in the way they prefer to receive it because we are blind to the other language normally. We think our language is the only language. So, learning to speak your partner's language fills their love tank. Again, the book is very well written, very poetic, I should say sometimes, and it's a pleasure reading that book end to end. The same effort can feel completely different. The same effort can feel completely different depending on the love language. So, if my partner's primary love language is gifts, and I am going to appreciate her only, so maybe it will not work. So, we can maybe understand these finer nuances. Relationships improve dramatically when both partners feel truly loved. So that's about the book. Of course, it's a bit more a bigger one. The length of the book is more compared to the John Gray's Men Are From Mars. So please come. So I think, did I exceed my time? I don't know. Didn't see.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I'm sorry about it. आपको बोलने का काम था.
ये आपके मैडम के एहसान मानना पड़ेगा.
Thank you.
कोई भी रिलेशनशिप के लिए, कोई भी, चाहे वो बच्चे के साथ है, फ्रेंड्स के साथ है, नेबर के साथ है, कोई भी रिलेशनशिप के लिए ये 5 लैंग्वेज कार्य करते हैं. हम जब समझते हैं उनकी बात को तो वहाँ रिलेशन आपका बनते रहता है, और नहीं समझ पाते हैं तो परेशानी आती है.
Right.
कोई भी रिलेशनशिप के लिए
Right. Thank you for interjecting. और डिस्कसेंट के रूप में आप आ गई और हमें बेसिकली अभिषेक जी से आग्रह है कि वो एज ए डिस्कसेंट ऑन दिस 5 love languages, his take, please.
So, thank you for both the speakers of today's session. And I think these efforts of preparing more slides or notes and all is well appreciated because it helps us to understand. So, I think I agree with Sandhya ji that it can be, related to any relationship for that matter. So, I have 2 observations, or maybe Ramakant ji can, elaborate because I think he has read it quite a few times. So, first one is this priority thing. The language, love language, and when it comes to priority. So, I was thinking that first thing is like initiation of good relationship, marriage, or anything, but we don't know the person that much. I mean, or even before marriage, we are starting to worship. So, how do you decide, or how do you, understand the priority language of each other? I mean, it is through friends, or I don't know. I mean, that is one thing. And the second thing, Gandhi can also throw some light on is this conundrum of love vis-a-vis respect. Because I had a lot of discussions with my friends and my circle about which goes where. I mean, love versus respect, or whether it's versus or not, or they complement and how they complement. Like I have met people, some people say, okay, I can compromise a bit on respect, but I cannot compromise on love, in whatever understanding there. And then other people have, the respect comes first and then maybe love, or whether it is in such situations. So Ramakani, if you could say something on that, on these two observations. Or anyone for that matter also.
So actually, some echo will be there. I hope the echo doesn't disturb you. Can you hear us properly? अभिषेक जी आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
Yes, I can.
So the echo is only, you can hear it. So right, you rightly say that the respect part is there. Here, that kind of clear-cut division is not there. And believe me, words like love, spirituality, religion, meditation, these are words which have very broad range of connotations. So probably here the love includes respect also.
Ramakanji.
Sir,
Ramakant.
please sir.
I want Dr. Shama Nair as a psychologist to comment on these two. Dr. Shama Nair, may I request you?
I'm not a doctor yet, I'm on a PhD. I'm a master's in psychology and I'm further qualification.
Okay, good enough.
So I won't comment so much as a psychologist, but as a fellow reader. Those are both good books. Some extra perspectives I have is sometimes it gives a reductionist, stereotypical view of men and women. Men को feelings कम आती है and women को ज़्यादा आती है. It may not always be true for all men and women. It's also a lot to do with the way men and women are socialized. हमारी society में men को discourage करते हैं feelings express करने के लिए. So it could be because of the way society has decided कि men इस तरीके के होने चाहिए और women इस तरीके के होने चाहिए. So there is that one small perspective that I want to add on that. And दूसरा point I want to mention is with respect to the love languages, I thought that was a very good concept, very interesting concept, and I see so many live examples of
it's about whether it's very gender specific or not. Does that have a lot to do with the way somebody is socialized? And the third point, small point I want to make is psychology में there's something called attachment theory. आपके बचपन में जिस तरीके के bonds आप form करते हो अपने primary caregivers के साथ, बड़े होके आपके जो adult relationships है, उसमें उसका बहुत बड़ा role है. अगर आपके primary caregivers के साथ आपकी बहुत अच्छी relationship है, there's a bigger chance कि आपके adult relationships are also filled with self-esteem, respect, care, as opposed to somebody जिनका for whatever reason insecure types of attachment है अपने primary caregivers के साथ बहुत secure, safe उनको feeling नहीं आई है, तो it can lead to a different kind of attachment style and challenges in their adult relationship. So I'll stop here and yeah,
very well said. Very well said. Very well said. The book is gender agnostic in terms of 5 love languages. The languages are gender agnostic, and of course, socializing can make a difference. And from the perspective of cognitive science, Dr. Abhishek was saying something. Maybe could I get your point?
Yeah, actually, if you could, with your experience as well of reading the book, but also you have experience as a person, I think what I was requesting you to deliberate upon is that since when you met this the person the first time, especially in the man-woman relationship, the issue is earlier days of courtship or just after the marriage when you don't know the person. Okay, so like I think Dr. Sharma, was saying something on the impact of affection at the child. So I was asking you, so whether it will be a good suggestion to talk to the fellow members, like the friends of each other or parents of each other, to know the person at the very beginning in order to understand the person, or you let the time take its course. Sometimes in these initial time frame becomes very difficult to handle. So if you look at the data also, mostly the problem does not come at the later stages. It is only started very beginning, and then it actually, piled up, which we see it in the later parts in the relationship. So on this context, I was asking you.
So that's a very good question. But from my personal perspective, personal experience, I'll say you have got a very valid point. So learning about the spouse, about your life partner, from her social setting, from her friends and family members, that gives you a great deal of insight. In our case, it was very different because we got married way back when it was almost like a child marriage for my spouse, and it was a traditional arranged marriage. And in fact, basically, we hardly had much information about each other. so the journey has been more of exploring and learning, and it has not been smooth like in most cases. But I feel really blessed, mostly because of so many things, including these books. These books have helped tremendously in developing insights about the.
Sorry, let me mention, Ramakanji has donated his kidney to Sandhya ji and stood by, both of them have stood by each other. This is just model and an inspiration.
Thank you so much. It's blown out of proportion. Actually, ladies are the most generous one. They donate their organs most readily. Gents are generally don't. But again, it's overgeneralized.
Equally supportive.
So ये एक दोस्त ने भी पूछा कि यार ठीक है, हाँ ठीक है, जिसको दिल दे दिया उसको किडनी दे दी, क्या किया, कुछ भी नहीं दिया. So no, it has been a journey of discovery and see, interpersonal relationship. What I learned from that American is your spouse is probably your most significant other. So that is something which was not there earlier. In our traditional Indian families, we normally learn that your parents come first, and then they have, so they have a different kind of hierarchy. I don't believe in any kind of hierarchy, but of course I learned it quite substance, quite effectively, that your spouse is certainly among the most important persons in your life. No less than your parents, no less than your children, no less than your siblings. There is hardly any comparison. But normally we don't take them, don't give them so much of importance because of the conditioning we have. That is something I learned from that American. But this, the point that, social conditioning and learning from the family and friends of the partner, it gives you certainly quite a good amount of insight. And of course, you can further refine that or fine tune that as we, and there is some amount of mystery always remains, and it should remain.
सुनील जी कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? सुरक्षा? संध्या जी आपके विचार?
I think we should request Professor Kannan to summarize, and then we should open it for open.
Summarize will be in the end.
At the end,
Kannan ji, would you like to come? Yeah, okay.
So will you like to summarize first, sir, or should we open the house for question answer?
So आप लोगों के ऑडियो में थोड़ा दिक्कत आ रहा है, मतलब क्लैरिटी नहीं है।
एक डिवाइस को हटा दीजिए या तो हटा दीजिए।
हम जोर से बोलेंगे और उसका ईगो हट जाएगा तो ठीक रहेगा।
सुनना तो नहीं पड़ेगा, वहाँ सुनाई नहीं देगा।
पहले तो आ रहा।
Right, so the audio of the
इसका स्पीकर लगा दो।
देखिए
इसमें कुछ थोड़ा स्कोर
अच्छा little bit of technical hitch, workout के लिए खेलें थोड़ा सा।
कन्नन जी से,
yeah, Professor Kannan, if you like to say something, sir.
Summarize what happened today.
So will you like to summarize now or after some open house Q&A?
Yeah, I'm going to summarize the discussion today.
Please.
Okay, yeah. So, Dr. Devesi had to summarize what the Mars and the Venus story by John Gray was trying to communicate in the 1990s. Now, as you can see, the word Venus and Mars, he said they are two different entities from two different planets, so their behaviors will be different. That's a kind of an argument which was put. Now, one thing has to be said is that today when we look at this concept, Mars and Venus is not accepted. Now we talk of gender equality. So this kind of a concept like Mars, Venus sounds very animal. But then one has to say what they basically trying to summarize in the book is not believable. But basically what he was trying to say was that women are more sensitive. Now the word sensitive can mean different people. Because they, according to the men are less sensitive. That also could mean that there is some communication gap. So it's basically
one communicates in one way, the other communicates in the other way, and because of that there is a difference in. Another is when problem solving comes, the men can think they can do it themselves without the woman. Whereas the woman tries to say why you are not listening to me. She makes her presence felt. Why don't you listen to my line of argument? So this is where the men don't have that patience to listen and sort of come out with that. So the problem solving versus empathy men lack, according to this book by John Gray. And another is there's a language barrier. Now this language barrier comes because the men are more influenced by their mothers. And they want to see in the wife also the mother's behavior. So that also leads to a lot of conflict. So, and the girl also expects that the man will be like their father. So when that doesn't meet also, there's a confusion with them. So these are all language barriers or the way one has grown up in a society. Shama rightly said, it's a society issue. The way we have come up in the society reflects in the way we behave. Like if you have a sister, you know how to handle it. If you haven't had a sister, the way you react is different. Communication happens. So this is what essentially what David is trying to summarize on John Gray's line of thought. Even though he said John Gray did a lot of research, and that it is a global phenomena is what John Gray is trying to put into this. Now, conflict is a major issue which, as somebody rightly said, the number of divorce rates have gone up tremendously. It is true in India also. It's not that the younger generation we see are quite different, and that's what Abhishek Tripathi wanted to us to discuss about, I suppose, because when we look at 2026, issues are very different. What we think as important of the 90s doesn't hold good because the woman is also independent. Woman doesn't depend on the man. And then earlier, the women depended on the men. That kind of dependence was there. So that brought a lot of compromise. But today, that kind of compromise is not there. The woman says, my way or highway. The man also says my way or highway. So that is where the difference will come. And I think now things have gone that far that people prefer living in relationships as if we had discussed that in the modern time. They said, I don't want to marry, but I don't mind. These are the concepts which we are seeing all around. So there's a basic difference this time. Now coming to Ramakant, he gave a very good summary of before he started talking about Stephen Covey's books also, and what is the impact of relationships is very, very important. But the 5 languages which he tried to summarize very nicely through. Right? One law of affirmation. So everybody says, oh, you look beautiful today. You're wearing a lovely dress today. You look very cheerful. Or, that kind of a complimentary word gives affirmation to either. And then, how much quality time we spend. Because today's world, the mobile disturbs even the communication between husband and wife. On the dining table also, people keep mobile and talk. So there are some women who are very clear, switch off all the mobiles or keep it somewhere else so that we can spend it. I think that's a very important aspect of it. And the habit of giving gifts or receiving gifts is a positive way to communicate, I still love it. Then act of service, trying to help the wife or the husband in their work. I think it's a good habit which is trying to say. And a physical touch just convey love. That you go and hold a hand or you give a hug. All these things do make an impact on either of them. I think that's very important. In fact, I was seeing a movie yesterday, Do Diwane Shehar Mein. I strongly recommend all of you to see this movie if you haven't seen it on Netflix. It really summarizes what was discussed today, if I could say. So that is what I think Ramakant tried to do a very good job. But I think Ramakant is too obsessed with Jiddu Krishnamurti. I think he said, I would appreciate next time I don't want him to say Jiddu Krishnamurti because that's a different level. And I don't think it had any correlation to today's topic. So I would appreciate, no bad meaning meant. But I think Jiddu Krishnamurti and today's talk didn't have any connection as far as I know. But I think topic was very exciting. That, all the 5 points which Ramakant took the trouble to translate were very, very effective. And I think even we at our old age, if we can take up some of those points, our relationship with our wife will certainly improve. I think that I greatly appreciate that because there's no age to learning. Certainly it does reflect on that. But more than anything else, I think, everybody participated who were here. So that shows that it is a topic which is common to all. Now, my generation may have a different take on it. Shama may have a different perspective on it. If somebody younger was there, it will be different because things are wrong. But today you have to appreciate that the gender equality has become a very, very important thing. There's hardly much difference between man and woman. You can talk about biochemical parameters and all that, that's all and women are coming is more a sort of escapism by either of them. When you don't win an argument, which how many times we invent issues to avoid discussing on them. So when you say, oh, you are from Mars, so you will talk about that. Or you are from Venus. So this is where, rubbing off, not giving importance to the argument. But I think overall, I think it was an excellent presentation today. I think today was a much more focused than last time. I don't know, I'm right or not. I think Ramakant and Joyville have to be appreciated for making sure two speakers speak was a very positive thing today. And only thing I wish we can improve on the audio quality so that we are able to hear it. Some of them I personally couldn't hear, but I'm sure next time we'll do better. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
It is okay to say it's not Mars and Venus, that Earth and Moon. At least some distinction has been made over the yes, the whole world says we are all one. We don't want to make it into two. No, not two. On a serious note, you are a biochemist and all. There are cities different and distinct. I'm not saying superior or inferior. I'm saying distinct.
That's true. That's true.
Difference is what leads to communication. If you are saying there is no communication.
Very true, very true.
No, I think, but Abhishek's point is valid.
So I think
Differences have to be understood in order to improve communication. That was the task of the book. So we invite questions.
Shama has raised her hand. Shama ji? Yeah.
आप लोगों ने जो बोला
आप म्यूटेड हैं संध्या जी? हैं
मैंने थम्स अप किया, मैं एक श्यामा जी बोले।
हाँ या ठीक है।
सर आप दोनों ने जो बोला, अभिषेक जी और कन्नन सर ने जो बोला, there is biologically there are differences between men and women. There are biological differences, but when we talk about psychological differences, it can be due to gender socialization. Can be due to socialization. The psychological differences are coming about. Of course, hormonal differences and biological differences are a fact, but other types of differences could be more due to the way we are brought up as men and as women.
No, Shama, I have a difference here. I think I cited the point made by John Gray that these differences are across cultures. These differences are across cultures. So they have something to do with the nature itself. And many women, you must be aware now, are post-feminists. They are taking account of the fact that extreme feminism, which kind of not only asked for equality but asserted kind of sameness of the genders or fluid genders, which came with the woke culture, perhaps has done a lot of created more confusion and misunderstanding. Differences are real even at the psychological level. That is not only the point of John Gray, but yes, of course, we can differ on this. I also agree with John Gray's point, but
You're not audible.
you
Are we audible? No. Are we audible? No. No, not
disconnect this.
So maybe we can continue today.
Connect the speaker.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, there was some issue with the Bluetooth device.
I was just saying that I disagree with Shama on this point, that the psychological differences are socialization created. I think there could be, John Gray could be right on this point, that there are some, just like we have anatomical differences, we have physiological differences, we have biochemical differences. You must be aware our brain structure is different. Male-female brain across cultures is different. Similarly, it could be leading to some psychological differences also, which recur, whether it is Indian culture or American or Nordic culture, which has done so much to rid socialization of gender stereotypes. Nordics have done that, and despite that, the outcomes are different among men and women. because something naturally is also different. And unless we acknowledge this, we won't be able to understand. And if we don't understand, then problems remain. The whole purpose of these two books is perhaps to elucidate what is different in psychology. This is not to say that one is better or the other is worse. No, not at all. Women, for example, there is nothing like motherhood. What can men do about it? That is the most important contribution to nature and society. So, women's role is so much better in some ways, but in some ways, as I was saying, I wonder why are there so few women great poets? Shaयर कहाँ हैं women? शायरा. Great music composers कहाँ हैं? Film directors कहाँ हैं? I understand CEOs नहीं हो सकते because of the glass ceiling. But the drive for making a mark in the outer world, which testosterone produces in men, is different from the caring priority which woman has. So she sacrifices her career ambitions for that. Whereas man, even after marriage, home is only a place to recuperate, to re-energize and go and make a mark in the world. वो प्रेरणा महिलाओं में क्यों नहीं आती कि मैं ऐसा शेर लिख सकूं? क्योंकि maybe one woman very laughingly told me, Suraksha ji is there, because men are not beautiful enough. It is the beauty of the woman that inspires the male poet. But that is just a joke. Psychologically, the drive, the desire pattern of men could be slightly different, and these need, unless we understand and acknowledge these differences, we will keep on the conflict path. Sorry.
Now supplementing what Dr. Devesh says, he has a point. He says that it's not nurture, it's nature. The nature versus nurture, that debate has been there, an old one in psychology. So I personally feel that it's not just nature and nurture, but there is a third element, third dimension to that. It's the choices, mindful intervention. And instead of just saying, the quoting, we were having a debate before start of this event about these two things only, basically Nordic countries and music composers and poets. So I feel that gender appropriate vocations, that can be a better thing. But we are going into the deeper aspects of psychology, of nature and nurture and choices and mindful and gender appropriate vocations. Maybe Shamaji can say something on this.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah, to make in one field.
Indira Gandhi, sir, she was the only man in the cabinet.
I think it's a very healthy discussion. The fact that Madame Curies are so few in number, that is the point.
You're wrong. Einstein's equation was derived by his wife. Do you know that?
Oh.
Einstein took all the credit for his wife.
Sir, how many total Nobel physicists have been there? What is the proportion?
There are many people who have not won award. Doesn't mean they haven't contributed. Please.
No, I'm asking about, that is why I said, let's talk about music composers, poetry which can be done at home. The drive level is perhaps different. This is not to say that it is inferior for women.
So here's the point.
I in fact made the point that woman sacrifices for the sake of her priority, which is care, family. I'm appreciating.
Obvious.
That is an old concept, not anymore.
Sir, the data is there. But okay, let's agree to disagree on this.
You may agree or disagree, but the point I have seen the younger generation, my own children, both have 50-50 contribution. Nobody is sacrificing for them.
Same with my daughter.
Sir, I have been a teacher for 30 years. Girls always outperform boys, but the reason is that girls are more more conformist. It is not because they are more intelligent. Teachers prefer giving more marks to girls because their handwriting is better, they do their assignments in time. Boys are less disciplined. That is why this doesn't mean that they are less intelligent.
Yes,
In fact, the better marks that girls get are a proof that they are less original. I would make that point as a teacher.
Very good debate going on. Now, Jitendra Tikkuji and Shamaji,
we give platform to others.
Both have their hands raised. Yes, Shamaji first and then Tikku Sahab.
Please leave it to them.
Jitendra Tikkuji, please. Yes.
I will like to take Professor Kannan's point forward, saying that women are more independent. Because what I have seen, what COVID has actually done is given the concept of work from home, and couples have been living, and even right now, people are, a lot of offices are conducting work from home. So you will have to share your responsibilities in the home, whether if she is for 2 hours, when the husband is cooking, or, and you know, you do these things. So these role is changing. So this is kind of from women. Many after 50 years will change. That is one very point that I am noticing now. There is a distinct change that is happening in the younger generation compared to our age or even our parents' age, which I think Dr. Sahab is also trying to say. Barring that, only the basic things, okay, boys will be differently, or you have that famous English saying, boys will think they are more.
Chai pee jate?
No, actually my husband has to go somewhere, so I have to take care of the child now. So thank you so much. Very good discussion.
Thank you, Jitendra Tikku Sahab. I think I tend to agree with your views.
Now the assault from Shama.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to say that it's not a blanket statement none of you are trying to say that one gender is better than the other gender.
Yeah.
What we are trying to say is that both the genders are different.
Have different positives and
Both the
negatives.
genders are different. But what I'm trying to explore is the reasons for those differences. So I think it's a combination of both nature and nurture.
Yeah.
Biological and social differences. For example, women अगर opinionated होती हैं and they are very assertive, it's not, I mean times are changing, but it's not generally encouraged in society. Men are encouraged to be more aggressive
Right.
and ambitious.
True.
So that may also be a reason why women are not manifesting that side of themselves. If somebody is very outspoken as a woman, she's instantly focus of attention and अरे यार ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा बोलती है, that type of response starts coming. So that may be one of the reasons why women tend not to be too in your face or too assertive. But on the other hand, men are not encouraged to show their emotions. Even if they're feeling very hurt from inside, they're encouraged not to show it. They're encouraged to always appear strong. So जबकि अंदर से उतना ही बुरा लग रहा होगा. So I think a lot of the behavior that we see, differences in men and women, can be a mixture of both.
True.
Of course, it is both due to nature and nurture. I entirely agree. But look at now we are talking about differences. So look at the criminality of men. Where are women rapists? How many are there? Child abusers? Obviously, our psychologies are different. In the entire world, as I said, every city, in fact, this is called the oldest profession, prostitution. Men's hunger for sex without love is well known. women also, with all the liberty given to them, no stigma, even in Nordic countries, even in Western Europe, how many go for gigolos or male prostitutes? No, our psychology is different. That was the point. And yeah, you asked about what is the reason. Apart from socialization, let me tell you, there is a historical reason. See, over millions of years, we lived in the Stone Age. Men were hunting, women were gathering and looking after the children. So women talk more. They always talk to the children. And they have an eye for color, etc. Men were selected. Those men died while hunting who could not focus. So natural selection has worked to make men more focused on long-term goals. That is how the male gene, the testosterone, has come about with such difference that men focus more on long-term goals. Women sacrifice for relationship. They will sacrifice their career, ego, etc. to maintain a relation. That difference is there. Of course, these are only averages. There can be extremes on both sides.
Yeah, so Dr. Devesh Vijay has a point. See, evolutionarily, biologically, there are certain things which are hardwired. Maybe evolution helped us in, getting those things hardwired. But things are changing, that is also true. Maybe it will take quite a long duration. But of course, the jury is still out. But the nurture debate, this keeps on, recurring and resurfacing all the time. I don't know whether there is any real clear-cut opinion on this.
No, there is no contradiction. Both work. The difference of opinion is only on the extent to which nature has also made us different. Of course, socialization creates a lot of difference. No one denies that.
So the point that I said about gender-appropriate vocations, since I have been part of some startup ecosystem, I can see some of the startups, being founded by women, taking care of their biology, their cycles, their different stages in life, motherhood, etc. Normally, in today's corporate world, in the government, in the development sector also, these things are not properly taken care of.
Let me ask Shyama, ये किसी मर्द ने लिखा है, तू अब से पहले सितारों में बस रही थी कहीं, तुझे ज़मीन पे उतारा गया है मेरे लिए. अब विमेन क्यों नहीं लिखती? So give me an example of a no. Look at the discrepancy in the numbers. Not only that, I'm asking about poetry. Let's not go into that. We are having an academic discussion, and I request Deepak Jolly is there. दीपक जी, अगर आप कुछ सवाल पूछना चाहे या कमेंट करना चाहे.
नहीं, अभिषेक जी को बोलने दीजिए एक बार.
अच्छा, सॉरी
प्लीज. But probably it's so loaded, the women reservation is so loaded a topic that it will hijack the entire thing. Wuthering Heights has, sir, sorry for interruption. The one comment came from Jitendra Tikkuji about Wuthering Heights, and Shamaji also said, I am missing my daughter. Actually, she has a plethora of examples of, prominent women putting forth different perspectives. She has plethora of examples. I am missing her here. Today she is not part of this discussion. But I understand that this debate can go on. Maybe this theme can continue for a few more months if we want.
और ये नोबेल प्राइज वगैरह कुछ काम नहीं आते अगर मदरहुड नहीं होती. तो अगर
Sir.
बाई चांस हमें इम्पोर्टेंस देखना हो तो वुमन का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है नथिंग लाइक दैट.
सर कुछ बोल रहे थे सर. Oh, why not? Why not? Why not? Yes, yes.
Yeah, Shama, be ready. No, we have got enough time. In fact, we have two ladies and we request their comments here today also.
And sir, my daughter forced me to read To Kill a Mockingbird. My daughter forced me to read that book. I have stopped reading fiction. No, yeah. Right.
So I think you missed the data I gave. 60% of US couples are childless, and that has led to a massive jump in depression, especially amongst women. Yeah. You want to say something?
Shamaji, your point?
You're really making sense.
Very true, very true.
Right, sir, right. Shamaji wants to make a point.
Yeah, so just a brief point, I think we can all agree on this one key, since men and women bring such different strengths to the table.
Yeah, right.
Finding ways to support each other and
Oh yes.
they are naturally, and understanding each other better, I think that's the best way forward. I mean, that's what I concluded from today's discussion.
Both thumbs up.
So good.
दीपक जॉली, घई साहब, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहें प्लीज.
Sir, we'll call it a day. Just last couple of
Manoj, please. Your airline experience.
We have one aviation expert, Manoj, sitting with us,
Not
and he has been
Face the camera.
yeah, he has been quite helpful in setting up the entire
He is
thing.
my paying guest
Yeah.
and very brilliant, very decent chap.
Are you visible? Yeah. Yeah. Please, you can speak here.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for your points. I've been listening
Yes,
and
please
I've been
continue.
a great listener.
Please continue.
So, as I'm quite young to be around, and I've learned a lot, and thank you very much for the healthy discussion. I've learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Manoj, what has been your experience in cabin crew, and do you find important differences in the way women and men behave in emergency?
Gender differences.
In emergency, everybody is trained as same as men and women. There is no such gender differences. But of course, has we been structured and we've been, women are more generous.
Yeah.
We are more practical,
Caring.
So in that way differs, but yeah, both equal of course. What जो एक औरत कर सकती है वो एक इंसान आदमी कभी नहीं कर सकता. So,
Yes, and the other way.
so of course, so it's all different. So yeah, both the stands their own way.
Good. Gagan?
Is it? I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Is it a rule to have the cabin crew majority as females?
There's no rule such actually, but airline prefer female more than men, because they're more generous. They because we have to be really patient. Yeah, our cabin crew main job is we have to be calm, patient, and we have to be good listener. As we men, we are more what do you say?
आपकी आवाज़
We
जरूर
love
सुनना
to
चाहते
solve
हैं।
things. Sometimes we have to listen. So in that way, like females are more suitable for that role. But that's more of in Indian airline basically. In international, if you see, it's like 50-50%. They love to hire both of them.
In fact, my observation has been the composition of the crew has been changing over past
Now, yes.
15-20 years.
Exactly.
Over 15-20 years.
Yeah.
And the composition of the cockpit crew, that is the pilot and the co-captain, that also has been changing.
It is, yeah.
So
Absolutely, yeah.
there have been shifts in both the cabin crew as well as the cockpit.
Even airports.
Right, absolutely.
So, and also there's a thing like before as our weight, I mean we are more masculine and more weight carried, the way our body has been structured, and women are more, their average weight is like 45-50, and man average weight is 70-75. So fuel efficiency sometime that was before that Indigo do a lot. Right. But internationally it's not the case actually.
Yes, sir. Would you like to say a few words?
I've listened to all the persons, and actually it comes to the same thing, that wavelength should be the same for communication. If the wavelength is not the same, differences arise.
Yeah.
The way you speak, the listener should take it in the same spirit. That spirit is lacking sometimes. She is on a different wavelength and the male is on a different wavelength. That is the only difference. Only you have to fine tune the wavelength, then the relationship continue.
Language.
Yes.
It's both ways.
सर कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
Both ways.
बेटा जी आपका तजुर्बा है इतना महिला और पुरुष के प्रकृति में, क्या आपको लगता है कि कुछ ऐसा अंतर है जो आमतौर पर समझा नहीं जाता? और उसको कैसे बेहतर समझ सकते हैं?
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, एक्चुअली वो आपस में अगर अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो तो सब कुछ हो सकता है ठीक ठाक। अंडरस्टैंडिंग अगर नहीं है तो फिर वो होगा। जैसे इस बुक में भी जो है बहुत सी ऐसे वो दिए हैं उन्होंने एग्जाम्पल वगैरह, वो जो हम लोग रोज की बोलचाल में जो शब्द वगैरह या जो बोल करते हैं एग्जैक्टली वही फ्रेज उसमें जो दिए हुए हैं, उसका सॉल्यूशन वगैरह भी बताया हुआ है। पर ये जब तक अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है दोनों में तब तक बड़ा डिफिकल्ट है, क्योंकि दोनों अगर हाई पिच पर हैं तो दिक्कत होगी। दोनों एक ही लेवल पे सब दोनों को होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, इसलिए वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग के बिना वो नहीं हो सकता।
ये मूल बात है।
कंप्रोमाइज़ भी कहीं ना कहीं करना ही पड़ता है हर एक को, तो कंप्रोमाइज़ करना भी ज़रूरी है एक्चुअली में जाता है। वो अगर नहीं करेगा एक तो उससे डिफरेंसेस पैदा हो जाते हैं।
जी सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think we should call it a day now.
Yeah.
It's already more than 1.5 hours. And मेरा मन था, sir, thank you. मेरा मन था कि मैं थोड़ा आगे कुछ propose करूँ for the next set of books for the next month, 31st of May. और but I think we'll leave it to the discussion online through WhatsApp groups and online कुछ poll भी रखेंगे, कुछ brainstorming करेंगे. We have time.
आप लोग में भी कोई सुझाव हो टॉपिक के बारे में या बुक के बारे में, शामा, प्लीज पुट देम on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, on the Chai per Chintan that WhatsApp group, please do that, and we'll do some brainstorming and also some polls. And I'll suggest that we should freeze this, or at least tentatively we should freeze this by the 30th of this month, so that we have a clear 1 month time for preparation.
सुरक्षा आप वहां पर हैं, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहें प्लीज। I think she's not there. Okay.
No worries. So shall we say bye bye and then close the meeting?
Okay. Thank you everybody. Thank you. This is, I think, a good beginning. We hope to make it more and more meaningful.
Right. Yeah. So let's meet again. Let's make it more, more interactive and more,
focused,
synergistic, and so that we come out with some actionable things and we make a difference, we make some impact, which is away from the typical.
और थोड़ी सी नोक झोंक शामा जरूर चलती रहे.
Yes, yes,
That makes it lively.
yes. So nice. Thank you so much, Dr. Abhishek. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Gai Saab.
Thank you, Gai Saab. Thank you, Deepak ji.
Abhishek.
Thank you, Sunil ji. Thank you, Tika Saab. Okay. Right then. So ending the meeting.